How's it going, guys? Natasha here from IGN Southeast Asia, and today there's a new farming sim in town. I grew up playing a ton of farming games back in the day. Not real life farming, only in game. I don't do that real life stuff. Anyways, the games I played are Harvest Moon, Friends of Mineral Town. That was my jam. As well as Stardew Valley. So let me plant some seeds of opinion in your mind of how I feel about Doraemon, Story of Seasons. The story is very different than the usual Story of Seasons storylines. It starts off in the Doraemon universe where Nobita, or otherwise known as Nobi in this game, I don't know why they changed the names up, like Nobita is Nobi, and then there's this little guy with the long mouth is called Sneezy, and then Shizuka is called Sue. I don't know, man. But anyways, he decides to plant a mysterious seed he finds as his summer project. The tree instantly grows, and suddenly a storm comes, and all of the Doraemon crew gets pulled into this storm and into a tear in time and space, and they end up in the Story of Seasons universe. So in order to find their way home, they must locate Doraemon's missing gadgets while living their lives as villagers in the town with jobs. Apparently in that town, kids have to work and take care of their elders. So apparently everyone gets work except for Nobita, and he gets given a farm. Like the rest of the other Story of Seasons games, a lot of the story is unlocked when you achieve certain things in the game, and if you talk to certain people or appear in certain places in a particular time. So the game is incredibly slow in the beginning. It took like 1.5 hours for me to even start playing the game properly. Before that was all just introductions and just walking around. And I think I almost fell asleep at a time. But as time goes on and you start building relationships, the game does get a little bit more interesting story-wise. In the beginning, a lot of the characters, including Nobita's friends, sound extremely plastic, and I was very confused and also disappointed because I didn't want this to be a Story of Seasons game wrapped up in a Doraemon wrapper. But thankfully, as I said before, as time moved on, the story did get more interesting for everyone, and the more you level up your social rank with certain people, the more backstory you will hear about them. The storyline is very wholesome and very sweet, similar to every other Story of Seasons, which in my opinion makes Story of Seasons one of the best farming sims on the market because of the storylines. Now, let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is very similar to the rest of the Story of Seasons game. In front of the house is a field full of rocks and weeds and trees and boulders and all that kind of good stuff, and you have to clear it in order to plant your crops. And you can also walk around the beach and the mountainside to forage for produce, or you could raise chickens, sheep, and cows for more produce. Farming is a pretty tough life. On top of that hard work, as I mentioned before, you can forge relationships with villagers in town. But there's a catch. Unlike the rest of the Story of Seasons games, you cannot date, marry, and have a child with any other villager or Nobita's friends, because let's be real, Nobita is only 10. That's illegal. Get that thought out of your mind. Don't even think about it.
Wait, that's illegal.
You can own a cat, dog, horse, squirrel in the game, but those are only unlockable when you achieve certain things and you have to trigger the story in order to get it. In my opinion, when I saved my dog in the game, it made me feel a lot more closer to my dog. Cinematics! The game is extremely beautiful and kind of cute. I love that the game looks kind of like a watercolor, but I'm not too keen about the frame around the game that looks kind of like icy, like snow. I don't know why. It doesn't really bug me, but it bugs me at the same time. I don't know how to express myself about it. I'm not too keen about the character design in the game. What really makes me interested in the Story of Seasons franchise before this is definitely the character design. It's actually why I prefer playing Harvest Moon over Stardew Valley. However, the characters in this game are created to look kind of wacky and weird, and I think it's because they're trying to make all the characters kind of jive with the characters from Doraemon, but I don't know, it doesn't really jive with me. And that's Doraemon Story of Seasons Deconstructed! If you're a huge Doraemon fan, I highly recommend the game to you. I'm sure you'll appreciate the game's storyline while enjoying the Story of Seasons gameplay mechanics. However, if you're here for an authentic Story of Seasons experience, do not get this game. Get the remake of the Story of Seasons Friends at Mineral Town. Doraemon Story of Seasons is available on the Nintendo Switch, PC, and the PS4, and you can get it now. It actually came out a while ago. This is a very late review. I'll see y'all later. I gotta harvest my turnips.